You're acting like a real bitch. Welcome to I Hope You Suffer.
What? God damn it.
Should have added the bro at the end of that.
Yeah. Bro.
This is episode 42 of I Hope You Suffer. My name is Nathan.
I'm Kit.
And this week, we watched...
We're tired.
Yes, well, that always. Yeah, very tired. We watched 2018's post-apocalyptic Commando Shark. Just let that title hang in the air for a minute.
Magic.
It is a movie.
Allegedly.
It
Not convinced.
somehow is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but also equally as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's watchably bad. It's not, oh my god, why bad?
Yeah, it's like, essentially it's like a comedy, but it kind of works for how stupid it is. And like, none of the jokes are very good, which makes them funny. And there's a shit ton of shark puns, which I'm all about. And then the sharks look like they're made out of like paper mache.
And there's like never more than one on screen at a time because they clearly could only afford to make one paper mache mask.
Yeah, I think there's like two heads throughout because there's like
Yeah.
those like weird kind of darker black sharks, and then like the weird kind of just general like like the color from
Like great
Jaws
white.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this this movie was crazy. I was not at all expecting it to be what it is.
Patriotic.
Yes, this is just fucking the most patriotic movie I think I've ever seen.
Agreed.
But also, everybody in America is extra stupid in it. This movie was directed, written by, and stars Sam Qualiana, Qualiana, who was a production assistant on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Hell yeah.
And, like, almost everybody in this fucking movie was in Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. And, like, a bunch of people were in, like, both of the Return to Nukem High movies. So they're Trauma alumni.
Explains a lot.
There were... I'm going to try and pull this up while I'm talking. The movies and the people in this did... have some of the most amazing titles. But this movie also stars Simon Qualiana as Marty, Mick O'Keefe as Dermot, and Andrew Elias as Alfonso, which are really the only characters you need to know about. Let's see. Let's pull up some of the director. No, wait, this is the director. This is somebody else. Where the fuck's the director at?
Did we mention we're tired?
Yes. The director is like the movies he or she. Yeah, it's got to be he. Because he played the fucking scientist in the movie. Let's see. Read off some of the movies they directed. Snow Shark, Ancient Snow Beast. Swamp Squad of the Dead. They were an actor in those as well. They've also acted in Zombie Babies, Prisoner of the Dead, Black Guy on a Rampage. I don't want to know what that is.
Jesus Christ.
Killer Rack, which is a movie about, I believe, killer breasts. And I'm now, this movie, Killer. We're gonna have to do Killer Rack at some point. This looks real stupid. Comedy about a woman suffering from low self-esteem who gets breast enhancement surgery, unaware that her surgeon worships H.P. Lovecraft's elder gods, and the surgery is part of a diabolical plot to rule the world.
Fucking Christ.
I don't.
This.
Oh God.
I'm exhausted by this man's filmography already.
It's also like, when I looked at like the customers also watched on Prime for this movie, and like where Skeeto Nazi Hunter came up, so that pretty much tells you the quality you're looking at.
Everything you need to know.
The guy that played Dermot in this movie is in Wrestle Massacre, which is how I came across that movie. That if I could find a way to watch, we are doing it. Because I need to see people killed by being thrown off ladders into tables. But also not in real life. Alright, fuck enough there. IMDb. They're shockingly sarcasm. There's not a Seinfeld connection in this movie.
Yeah. How crazy. Post-apocalyptic Shark Commando doesn't have David Puddy in it.
I was gonna say George is not in this movie. Michael Richards.
This movie would be so much better if George Costanza was the post-apocalyptic commando shark.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the sharks.
Doing little kicks over fallen enemies.
Oh, it'd be amazing. Just making shark puns in a Russian accent. So, this movie opens in the not-too-distant future, where Russia has dropped a nuclear bomb on America, and has Soviet scientists, which are later revealed to be German, working on making shark-human hybrids.
I wish they had dropped a nuclear shark on America.
I think that's where they were going after the Gargantua shark. They're just going to make it radioactive. Again, all of the sharks in this look like they're made out of paper mache. Like, because it's just a shark head that doesn't move on top of a person's, like, sitting on top of somebody's shoulders. And it is pretty ridiculous. I think I posted a picture on Instagram while I was watching it that is just exactly what the sharks look like. The
whole movie.
Yeah. Like, unmoving, beady eyes, fucking...
You can see the person's, like, face in the mouth.
Like, the rows of teeth look like somebody just jammed, like, pieces of gum in there. It's pretty great.
Rules.
Yes, it's awesome. They just kind of look like, I guess, like a piñata on top of somebody's, like, shoulders.
Yes.
You get a bunch of, like, just montage footage of just what America is like now. And you get a clip of the president giving a press conference in front of the White House, and then just a fucking Russian commando shark walking up and eating him.
I love that they keep the podium out of the shot because there's not actually a podium. There's just like two microphones on a like regular table. And they just have him in front of a bunch of bushes, so you don't see any kind of house behind him at all.
And then like all of the... Like, there's a bunch of gunshots in this movie, and it's all just CGI blasts out of the gun, but then all of the blood splatters from below the screen. It's all CGI as well.
The smoke effects look like something that you, like, put in on your MacBook. Like...
It's so good. Like, this is the definition of just, like, B-movie.
This is supremely DIY.
I assume it was made on an iPhone for, like, $10,000 if that. That was just to make the shark heads.
I was gonna say $10.
I mean, I figured they probably like paid these people or gave them food at least. But yeah, the president gets eaten, and then you just get pretty much into the movie, which is just that militias have risen after the government has been taken down and are just running in groups of essentially 3 people at any given time. So I'm guessing that's just how many people they could get on a day. Fighting groups of Russian armies that are also like 2 people and a shark.
But it comes to the like climactic battle, and I was like, this is really very few people deciding the fate of America right here. Like, it's like 15 people total.
The final battle is maybe like 10 people on America's side and like 4 on the Russian side.
But one of them is a post-apocalyptic commando shark, so he's like 10 people on his own.
Yes, and then a gargantua shark, which we will get to later. But so militias have like risen, and they're like, you get a bunch of clips of them just being essentially just taken out because they're all useless against human shark hybrids. As we all will be one day when this comes true.
I'm useless against humans and sharks.
Oh my god, if I saw a shark,
I'm out.
If I saw a shark walking towards me, I would kill myself. Not even hesitate.
I wouldn't give it the chance to take me out.
I stay out of the ocean for a reason. If they could get on land, I'm just fucked. I was listening to Riff Raff where you guys were talking about like spiders in the fucking pool.
Oh my god, it's game over. It's game over.
You're just like, I'm not having a bathtub. Yeah. I'm not gonna plug my sinks anymore.
No standing water. I saw a tarantula swimming in water for anyone who doesn't keep up with the other podcast. But I don't need that. I don't need the largest, hairiest spiders swimming at me.
I don't even want the smallest.
There's the one place I was safe. Supposed to be able to escape the spiders in the water.
I just like listening to like Pat talk about shit. I'm just like, Australia is a goddamn hellscape. Like, how are you just not being killed by some fucking wild creature at any given time in Australia is beyond me.
Oh my god. The spiders are all so angry and large.
It's just,
they've got things.
Just like living in 8-legged freaks, I'm assuming.
It was all filmed in Australia, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think we looked it up, and it's like Australia and New Zealand or something.
Those were all real spiders.
It was a documentary. Yeah, militias are all being killed because they're all... Everybody in this movie is dumb as fuck.
Like, and frail.
Yeah, and like... Which is... I like the idea that they made the militias essentially look like what militias look like in real life. Which is just like dumb, overweight white dudes. I like the... I don't think it's happened yet. The dude that gets his guts ripped out is my favorite part of this entire movie.
Oh yeah, it comes up here pretty quick.
Yeah, because I think like the next thing is like when Marty's introduced, who is, from what I could tell, working on a car in his living room. Like a fucking car up on one of those like jacks you would see at like a Midas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's just like a couch and all kinds of shit sitting around. And I'm like, is this dude just like either living in his garage or working on a car in his living room?
I love they walk in there and they're like, are you going to be able to fix it up? And he's like, oh, with these parts. And they're like, oh, you're fucking with us. Like, it's not going to work ever again, is it? And he's like, nope. It was all super deadpan, and it's like, was that supposed to be a joke? I don't.
Oh, yeah. There is no emotion exerted in this entire movie except for like maybe Dermot and the other scientist. Also, the best actor in this movie is a dog. We will get to that. But so
I also love they go in there for the car, and after that exchange, he's just like, well, we're looking for people to join the army and murder some Russians. Are you in? And the guy's like, you bet. And
there you go. Now
all right.
Now he's our main protagonist.
Yeah. Now he's an American hero.
The I think after that is the first time you hear one of the sharks talk.
I think so.
Because like there are consistently like as Marty is part of this militia and like him and like three other people confront just like another group of like four Russians that have one shark with them. The shark talks and the mouth is just wide open the entire time. All of the sharks have the exact same voice.
And it's this like heavily modulated, terrible Russian accent.
Yeah, and like super deep sound like voice.
Yeah.
Um
Like, oh, death to America. But like through a fucking fan, like whenever you're talking through a fan and it does the like whir sound.
Oh, it's so good. This is the first time one of the sharks makes a pun about with the word fin and says something about like after they kill people, says something about like a great fin-ish.
I love the idea that the shark would throw out puns, but it only makes fin puns.
Yeah,
it doesn't try to make any other kind of like sea puns or shark puns. Just
they make
almost entirely fin puns.
They make fin puns and they use the word chum a lot.
It's the only two jokes.
After they kill everybody in this militia except Marty, like Marty goes running off and well, I guess he doesn't kill everybody because the shark comes up and after it has shot this one dude whose name I wrote down later, maybe I didn't, I don't remember. They shoot this one guy and he falls down and his like guts are kind of somewhat exploded out of his belly. The shark comes up and like starts pulling him out and takes one of the other guys hostage. And so now Marty is just on his own. You are cut to a scene where you're introduced to Dermot Jackson, who is the scientist for America, which explains why they're losing.
Dermot.
He is doing tests to create his own human, like, soldier hybrid things that are going to be dog and human for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why dog.
Because I feel like a dog would not stand a chance against a shark. But the only thing he's managed to do so far is create a dog that can talk like a human. So there's just a dog named Bruno throughout this movie that is just talking to Dermot, but like there's no effect to make the mouth move. It's just a dog laying in a dog bed and just a voice coming out of it. But like the dog is constantly saying shit you would expect a dog to say. Like there's a long thing about it wanting a ball and asking like the two people in the room over and over and over again if they will throw a ball with him. It's real dumb. After that, you just get some more shit of just American militias being taken out. There are apparently unending amounts of groups of 3 or 4 people in these militias just being taken out at any given time. You cut to a scene of some quote-unquote youths discussing world politics as they do, including one guy that says bro every sentence. And this is where I got the fucking quote at the beginning, because there is no tagline, where
bro
he keeps saying just like dumb inflammatory shit, and then like the one lady hanging out with him kind of challenges him on it, and he's just like, you're acting like a real bitch, bro. Oh, I hate him so much. He eventually just gets up to go pee and is bitten by a shark. These sharks can only kill you by biting you straight in the neck. It's like the only way they ever kill anybody.
Yeah, I think they maybe shoot one person.
Well, they shoot people, but like anytime they actually like attack somebody, it's just biting in the neck because
biting.
The mouth is made specifically to bite you in the neck. Um, as the shark shows up to attack the other two people in this youth gang, Marty shows up and kills them. Like, shoots the shark, and then I think the other guy, I think he kills all of them. You cut to Dante, who was the guy that got kidnapped from the militia group Marty was in, being interrogated by I forget what the scientist's name was. Some fucking, it's ridiculous Russian name.
Some fucking guy.
It was like Sigmund or fucking some shit like that. Something with an S, I know that. But it's him and one of the sharks interrogating Dante.
Siegfried.
Is it Siegfried?
Yeah.
They, like, Dante won't talk, so they shoot him up with truth serum a couple times. And he eventually tells them, like, they'll ask him, like, what's your favorite color? And he's like, green. Shit. And then it's like, what's your favorite food? And he's like, cheeseburgers and fries. Ah, damn it. And then they're just like, where's your hideout? And he says Guitar Center at one point. Which I fucking laughed at so hard. I was like, please, God, tell me part of this movie is shot inside of a Guitar Center.
I was sincerely hoping there'd be, like, real footage of just one of the shark guys running through a Guitar Center while it was open.
Playing fucking
so
drums.
What the hell?
And that was maybe my favorite line in the whole movie.
Guitar Center.
He says Guitar Center, and then they're just like, where's the location? And then he just gives them, like, a different location that their base is actually at. So I don't know what the Guitar Center line is about, but it made me laugh. So he eventually gives them the real base location, which is in Free New York. And he actually just gives them the fucking directions. He's like, well, you go to, like, this street and then West Avenue, and then you look for, like, whatever, and then you'll find it. And then he immediately gets eaten by a shark. Because why not? You get another, like, this movie is just made up of essentially just quick scenes that really don't tie together at all. Like, it's just shit happens, and then another scene shit happens, and then another scene happens, and like, it's just a lot of scenes that'll just be like the shark's doing something, and then you'll cut to, like, Marty doing something, and then you'll cut back to sharks doing something that's, like, not tied to anything. It's somewhat infuriating. Especially when this was, like, the 9th movie or something this director made, where I'm just like, come on, dude.
He hadn't learned by then.
I mean, I couldn't do any better.
The 10th one. I feel like I could do better, actually.
I mean, I take it back. I feel like I could maybe direct better. I couldn't fucking write a movie to save my life. I could barely fucking write my notes.
Maybe write a better movie than this.
I could barely, like, write the notes for these movies that is fucking at all legible or fucking make any sense to me, so... So Marty eventually makes it to Free New York to talk to the leaders of, I guess, the militia groups, and immediately starts telling them a bunch of shit they already know. And, like, naturally, they immediately are just like, you are a fucking idiot. And they're just like, have you not been listening to our radio broadcast? And he's like, the radio still works? And which comes up again later in the fact that they're just flat out telling over this radio broadcast, like, where their new base is at and, like, what their plans are. And, like, I think Marty is the only person that's like, don't you think the Russians are listening to this? And I think it's Alfonso that's just like, no, the Russians don't listen to the radio. Also a joke later about how the internet still works, but, like, nothing else.
Everything else is down except the internet.
They're trying to figure out later, like, where the German scientist base is at, and they, like, he figures it out by watching, like, the trending videos, which is real stupid. But Marty talking to these fucking militia leaders in Free New York, Eventually, like, leaves, getting a gift bag with grenades in it. And after he, like, as soon as he walks out the door, gets out of frame, a bunch of Russians come in with a shark.
This scene is so good.
It's pretty fucking genius. That, like, the main, like, the leader of the militia groups is, like, giving a speech, and they all the Russians, including the shark, just walk up into the back and line up. And the guy, like, nobody recognizes them, so the shark raises its hand to ask a question. And the fucking leader's just like, no questions at this time or something.
Don't interrupt. Like,
and the shark, like, asks a question, and then everybody's just like, oh. Or yeah, the shark's like, what would you guys do if, like, a bunch of Russians just, like, happened to, like, invade your base and was about to kill all of you? And the guy's just like, well, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like, well, if they are here, like you say, and I'm starting to suspect that they are, and the camera's just panning across all of the Russians in the room.
Oh, it's so good. I like the fucking shark raising his hand to ask a question. It's such a fucking genius and stupid fucking, like, visual gag, and I love it. So I think the shark is the one that shoots the main leader, who then lights a giant, over-the-top, like, cartoon firework as a bomb. And, like, the other two, like, militia leaders with him just stare at it in, like, patriotic pride and then all blow up.
Yeah. She gets shot and just drops it under the table, and they're just like, what? And blow up.
Which only blows the three of them up, nobody else in the room.
Yeah, everyone else in the room's fine.
It's like,
not a big deal.
The Russians just shoot everybody in the room. You then cut to a scene of three guys playing cards. One of the guys apparently used to be, like, a POW of the Russians and had his tongue ripped out, which is why he doesn't speak in the scene. They're playing cards with, like they show one guy's hand, and it's like a Magic the Gathering card, an Uno card, a regular playing card.
I'm very curious what game they were playing. What rules they've made up.
Same. And the fact that they're playing for, like, money and bottle caps of some sort. And the one guy's, like, trying to ante with, like, a fucking fried chicken coupon.
Isn't good for anything, because there are no chicken places open anymore.
Oh, yeah, the one guy's like, well, I'll raise your 5, but not the coupon, because that is not even fucking valid anymore, and I'll raise you 100 bottle caps. As they're playing cards, the guy who had, like, his guts pulled out comes walking in holding his guts to his stomach.
Meatball, that's that dude's name.
Oh, that's right. I don't know how I forgot that. That is a fucking perfect name for this guy.
Meatball, god damn it.
So, he comes walking in asking for duct tape. He goes into another room to get duct tape, and a bunch of Russians follow him in. And, like, there's a sign about leaving weapons at the door. And they have this, like, quick back and forth about, like, whether they should leave their weapons, and the shark's just like, you guys are idiots.
It just pops him in the back of the head.
Oh, so they just, like, ignore the sign because they're jerks, and just walk
rude.
in and shoot all the three people, like the three dudes playing cards, and then leave. And then Meatball comes walking out with his guts duct taped to his belly. Oh, I love it. And then, like, it's just fucking stupid ass visual jokes like that always get me. That I was like, as soon as he walked in, I was like,
dumb.
He's
so
gonna
good.
have his fucking belly duct taped shut, and I can't wait. He walks out and immediately throws up on one of the dead bodies for, like, a solid 30 seconds.
So extended, and it looks like someone put pico de gallo in orange juice to just, like, pour out, and it's so disgusting.
You just said that as I was drinking water, and I was just like, just imagine that taste. That sounds horrendous.
Oh God.
But he throws up and then apologizes to the dead body and then says, "You think I would have heard all of that happen while I was in the other room?"
I'm glad it's at least self-aware.
Yes,
This
this
terrible film.
that's like the one. Like it's a very Attack of the Killer Tomatoes kind of esque movie where it realizes like it's not supposed to be serious. It's obviously it knows it's extremely stupid, which is kind of works to its favor. Like I feel if they had done this and tried to make it a serious movie, I would have hated it so much more.
Oh yeah, that would have been awful.
There's an excellent Pinky and the Brain joke coming up that made me laugh super hard.
I watched an episode of Pinky and the Brain after
Perfect.
because of it.
The next scene is the radio broadcast about all of the generals being killed and announcing the new base location. What has Marty and Alfonso kind of interacting with each other, where Alfonso is a complete dick and apparently apparently supposed to be a Russian specialist based on getting his like GED at KGBU, which obviously is like them teaching you extremely wrong shit because he just assumes Russian. Like, he says with like that he's qualified to talk about it, that Russians don't use the radio, and Marty is like the only person that like questions like any of the shit that happens in the movie. But so there's a new base. Like I think they're heading towards it after this. I can't remember exactly, but the next scene it cuts to is a barbecue headed by this dude named Jimmy, who keeps talking about how after the barbecue and before he goes to bed, he's gonna go blog. just a real stupid like running joke throughout this scene. He just spends his time blogging about the war.
Someone needs to record it all.
There's a real unfortunate like gay joke in this scene where like this one dude is kind of hinting at being gay and Jimmy's just not. Like anytime anyone talks to Jimmy, he just like makes it about blogging. And they like he goes to give this dude a hot dog by like sliding it into the bun. Because of course,
multiple times.
Yes. Jimmy also is getting hit on by a quote-unquote punk girl throughout this scene, and she's just like, "Oh, like you staying home alone?" And he's like, "Yes, I like to blog by myself. If somebody else is in the room just watching over me, I can't blog." And she's like, "Oh, so you don't want me to stay?" And he's like, "Well, there's not really room. I promised the couch to somebody already."
Yeah. he tells her she can sleep in the shack in the backyard.
She just says fuck it and goes away. And then a bunch of Russians show up, and it's just like they deliver some line that I can't remember, and then just like maybe asking like Jimmy something about what they're making, but they like the shark jams Jimmy's face into the grill and then shoots him, and then like the shark grabs a frisbee somebody's playing with and just like decapitates a lady with it. And then like I think this is when Wolfgang, who is one of the like leaders in the Russian army, is just like, "We're not supposed to be killing civilians," and the shark is just like delivers the line, "White meat is jawsome." Just gonna let that sit there for a minute. And then just like starts eating these civilians. So now Wolfgang's kind of like concerned about the, there's not supposed to be any sort of like civilian casualties, which comes up in the next scene when he goes to Siberia to talk to, well, what was Siegfried?
Yes.
The scientist working with the Russians, who they all don't realize is German. There are Snapchat videos of the sharks killing civilians out for public consumption now, because of course it's Snapchat. he he like Wolfgang confronts the doctor. Wait, is it this scene?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't doesn't seem like I wrote down like any of the shit about the scene, but he confronts this like Siegfried about the sharks killing civilians, and Siegfried immediately injects him with shark DNA that is going to slowly turn him into a shark, and tells him about shows him the fucking switch he has that will kill all the sharks if you press the red button on it, because that's convenient and shows just how stupid everybody in this movie is. You cut back to a scene of... Oh, no. I don't remember exactly why, but there's a scene of, like, two Russians talking, and they go, like... I think they might be talking about Siegfried, or maybe just, like, the fact that the sharks are killing civilians, and the one guy's just like, I don't care. He's like, I got episodes of Ray Donovan to finish. Just such a fucking...
Super timely reference.
Such a fucking weird line. You cut to another scene of Dermot talking to Bruno the dog about his frustrations with his experiments. And he throws down a bunch of papers. And like they have a back and forth where Dermot eventually looks back at his papers and sees one of them upside down, which is a drawing with arrows of like human to dog. And when it's upside down, it's the dog to human. And that's how he realizes that he should have been making the dogs into humans instead of humans into dogs.
The dumbest fucking plot twist.
So fucking
plot
good.
Point. Oh!
This is the worst scientist of all time in any movie I've ever seen.
He sucks.
There's another like quick scene of Marty and Alfonso out like searching for Russians, and just they kill some of them. Okay, so after that is when Wolfgang talks to the Russian scientist about the civilians being slaughtered. You have a scene again of Dermot after he realizes what he should have been doing the whole time, where he goes and convinces a homeless guy to come be experimented on by offering him a shower and pizza, which would probably work for me. Like, yeah, it's like, you can offer me pizza, I'll come.
Yeah, why not?
There's he gets him back to his lab, and like it cuts to another scene of Wolfgang recording a video, or I guess maybe, I don't know, records something that's talking to the Russian people about all of the things that have been done, including like the sharks killing civilians, and how there's a line when he's talking to the scientist about, he's like, I didn't want any sort of like innocent civilian death, and he's like, you dropped a nuclear bomb on America. And he's like, well, I thought that bomb would just kill like the guilty people, like the army, and not the civilians. So he's recording this video that's like, I'm gonna slowly turn into one of these things, like we have to fight against them, blah blah blah. You get a scene of Siegfried creating the Gargantua shark, which is literally a giant toy shark in front of like green screen backgrounds. Just with like going by, and then you'll just see like a building implode, and then there's just like people in the foreground running away. It's really extra stupid for this fucking stupid movie. You cut back to Dermot with the homeless guy that he is now turned, or he like is giving this homeless guy pizza, and then just like jams a needle in the back of his neck and like injects him with some sort of dog DNA, which just makes him be a human that is now all he can do is just bark and scratch.
Absolutely nailed it.
Yes. he's like deterred by his fucking experiment on this dude, and then like comes to the realization that he's got some fucking chemical that he stockpiled that is actually a shark repellent, which comes in handy because as soon as he realizes it, a fucking commando shark comes in and eats the homeless guy after putting his gun down in the corner. And Dermot manages to spray the shark in the face with his deterrent, and it like starts to run off, and he grabs the gun and shoots it, kills the shark. The next thing is Marty and Alfonso figure out where the German scientist location is at from Alfonso, I'm guessing, getting on Twitter and looking at trending videos.
That'd be great if that was the plot point.
After, like, I guess it could just be YouTube, but whatever. I hear trending and I just think Twitter. Another extra stupid joke in this movie is there's like I think it cuts to them a couple times where they're sitting and talking and it's like real close up on them. And after they figure out where the location is at, they both get up and pull their pants back up as they've just been sitting there shitting apparently the whole time. After they figure out where after they run off to go confront Siegfried, you cut to a scene where Wolfgang has slowly started turning into a shark and eats the soldier that is in the room with him. And then I think it's just general, like, more montage type footage of just militia groups and sharks, like, interacting. And I believe there is a song from Tetris in this scene. There is an extreme, like, 8-bit song that I think is, like, not the main song people, like, associate with Tetris, but, like, one of the other ones. Like, it has to be. I'm almost positive it is.
That's amazing, if that's what that is.
If not, as an extremely well done, like, copy of it. Apparently, Dermot has, at this point, has, like, given the army or these militia people fucking the shark repellent stuff, and it makes the Russians sign a peace treaty, and now the militia is known as like the North American Russian Federation or some shit. I forget what it stands for, but it's NARF. And Dermot makes the fucking reference to Peaky in the Brain, which made me laugh really hard. It was just
He didn't even do the NARF though.
Yeah.
Jerk. How can you have a NARF joke and not go NARF?
It was just like the last thing I expected to hear in this fucking movie was a Pinky in the Brain joke. After that, you basically get to the final scene of Marty and the rest of this militia of like 8 people confronting Siegfried and like the rest of this Russian group, like army group, which is like him, another scientist, and like 3 other people, including one shark. All in just like somebody's backyard. Because there's like a fucking one of those like igloo dog houses in the backyard that somebody hides behind during the fucking firefight. Before, like, as they show up and they're getting ready to like have this fucking standoff, Siegfried's like, I don't know why you're even bothering. You can't stand a chance against the gargantuan shark, which is apparently behind them, just waiting to attack. Dermot shows up at this point and gives this speech about having a shrink gun that's always in like the glove compartment of his car.
Super convenient.
It shoots the gargantuan shark and shrinks it down to like the size of a shark toy and then steps on it. So that's just no longer fucking a plot point in this movie. The shark came in like handy for nothing. They eventually all start fighting, and it's just like the most ridiculously low budget firefight you've ever seen. Um, they eventually, like the militia group, loses some people and takes out basically everybody but Siegfried. And he gives like this fucking speech about after they shoot like the other scientist guy about how he was just like just there like helping out. He didn't really do anything wrong and he was a good guy. And like I think Alfonso's the one that shot him, and like Marty's just like, dude, not cool. And Alfonso's like, what? He's like part of the bad guys. After it's just Siegfried left, the militia like closes in on him. And I think they were going to like take him hostage to like help America make sure this never happens again. And before they could do that, Wolfgang comes in full shark mode and just eats the shit out of the scientist. I think after he bites Siegfried, he gets shot by maybe Alfonso. And they're both laying on the ground and like they have a fucking quick back and forth, and then Wolfgang tells one of the militia dudes about the kill switch in the scientist's pocket. So they pull it out, hit the kill switch, which kills all of the rest of the sharks, which is apparently 2 of them. Because like one of them's just out walking in a field and just falls over dead. And the other one is driving a car that dies while driving the car, and then you get like this insane CGI shot of the car flipping all over the place.
That was amazing.
It's pretty great. After that, Marty and Alfonso start arguing and like kind of just like fighting, but it's just like dumb wrestle fighting. And it cuts to like a shot from the sky and all of the dead bodies, and then like Marty and Alfonso like rolling around in the middle creates like is it like the Russian flag? What's like that red and yellow flag? It's got like fuck. Maybe it's like a communist flag, I'm not sure. But either way, there's just like this dumbass scene from above that's just them fighting, and then it's just like all of the bodies create like that fucking crescent moon shape and like stars of like this flag that too stupid and too tired to remember.
I don't know what flag that is, because the Russian flag's just a white, a blue, and a red bar, and then the communist flag has the hammer and sickle.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's fucking this movie. It doesn't matter. Did you watch through the credits?
No, I don't think so.
Oh god. So
Post credit scene.
There's a mid-credit scene.
Oh god.
Of
oh yeah, I did see that.
Space with the egg carton.
Yes. God damn it. The fucking egg aliens.
It was like a fucking egg carton in space, and I was like, holy shit, are there going to be Russian sharks in space? Because I was like, I will watch the fuck out of that sequel.
That's what I thought.
And then it ends up being they are aliens that are actually just eggs with animated mouths that realize Earth would be a perfect place to like breed their species for the quote-unquote egg lord. And I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of sequel of eggs taking over the Earth.
I hope not.
Same. Yeah, that's...
I do want to peep that egg lord, though.
I'm assuming it's just going to be like an ostrich egg compared to like the other eggs. I kind of suggest watching this movie.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
If you're just looking for something real dumb to like make fun of, it's pretty good for that.
Yeah.
Like it knows what it is, and like it's
got some doesn't take itself seriously.
Pretty funny lines in it that are just funny for how like stupid and like out of nowhere they are, like the Ray Donovan line. Did you have something you wanted to shout out?
No, you go first, and I'll try and think of something.
Yeah, I was doing the same. I literally I woke up and just came in here, turned my computer on to record.
Right.
Fuck it. I'm gonna say, listen to the band Closer. That's what I've been listening to a lot lately. They are like a hardcore screamo band from I think New York. I'm gonna look up their Bandcamp real quick. But they're real good. Yeah, they're from New York. They have an album called All This Will Be at closernyc.bandcamp.com. And I think their Twitter and Instagram, I think, is just Closer is a Band. Yeah. They're real good. They're super nice people. So go listen to them.
I'm going to be jackassy, and I'm going to say Pit Viper sunglasses. Because they're really absurd, but also super dope, and I love them.
When I think Courtney had posted the picture when she first got them, and I was looking up what they were, which then immediately led me on a chase to find Bret Hart glasses.
Oh yeah.
And so now I was like, I need Bret Hart glasses, and I was like, I would legit wear those all the time.
I looked for those Bret Hart glasses, and they're just like the shitty little roll up ones or whatever.
Yeah, everything.
And they're $45 on his website. I was like, all right, fuck that. I'm gonna buy Pit Vipers.
I was like, everything I could find was real cheap, kind of shitty looking ones.
Yeah.
So now I need to just go see Bret Hart and have him give me a pair.
Do the right thing, Brett.
Yeah. Wait till we cover whatever that fucking movie is. It did with Corey Feldman and send his glasses.
Oh my god.
Fucking as soon as that is available, we are watching it.
Yes. It's gonna be a nightmare.
Oh god, I can't wait.
If he doesn't put someone in a sharpshooter, I'll be very upset.
There needs to just be more movies with wrestlers in it doing their wrestling moves. I don't know why we gotta say this all the time.
Yeah. They should know.
So I think we're gonna just do shark movies for July.
Yeah. Why not?
So the next one we're gonna do is Shark Exorcist, which I can only imagine is amazing.
Oh god, I'm dreading it.
I think we have to do House Shark after that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Shark Exorcist is only streaming on Prime at the moment, at least in the US.
Devastating.
Because that's the only place any shark movies are streaming.
Should be on everything.
Yeah, so I think other than that, I don't really have anything else. Check out our Bandcamp episodes on Kazam and Chairman of the Board, because we watched them, so you should listen to us suffer through it.
Yeah, we watched them so you don't have to.
Kazam was not as bad as I expected it to be. Chairman of the Board was worse than I expected it to be.
It all evens out.
But you can just go to Bandcamp and search I Hope You Suffer Podcast. Or it's just I Hope You Suffer Podcast.bandcamp.com. We're recording this in advance. I'm not sure when it'll come out, but through July 18th, we're donating everything we make from it to Yellowhammer Fund in Alabama, which is helps people get I don't believe it actually helps fund the abortions. I think it's helps people who have to travel far with lodging and food, because there's two fucking places that offer abortions there.
Yeah.
Something like that. It sucks. So we're gonna donate everything to that, and then after that it'll be Women Have Rights, which is a pro-abortion thing in Ohio, and then just Planned Parenthood the month after that. You can follow us on Twitter at I Hope You Suffer, and Instagram at I Hope You Suffer Podcast. Watch Shark Exorcist, because it's gonna be real dumb. I hope you suffer, but why?
But why?